Do you know where Thorne is?
He's in his room.
Do you have any idea how he was during the evening, night?
He's coping.
That's good. What did he want to talk to you about in here yesterday?
He had questions.
Yes. About what?
Caroline and me. He wanted to know if we intended to marry after the two of them were divorced.
What did you tell him?
I told him the truth. That we had no plans.
Did he believe you?
I think so.
Well. Maybe this will work out.
So far it has.
He does seem to be accepting the idea of the divorce, doesn't he?
Now, if you just accept the rest of it.
Oh, Rich, please, don't push it.
I won't do anything Thorne can't handle.
Well, who's going to make the decision about what he can handle?
Mother, I'm seeing Dr. Bruckner again this morning.
With Caroline?
Yes.
Why?
To come up with a strategy, Mother. A strategy to figure out how to tell Thorne what he's forgotten.
Ridge, please, just because he has accepted the idea of a divorce, or seems to be accepting the idea of a divorce, does not mean he's going to accept the knowledge that you slept with his wife. My God, he took a gun, he tried to kill you. This is not the time to bring this all out into the open. Please, I really believe that.
If you don't mind, I'd like a professional opinion on that.
I don't need a professional opinion. I'm your mother. I know my children. And I know what my son can handle and can't handle. If that psychiatrist tells you that he can handle this, believe me, she's wrong.
I'll talk to you later.
Hi, Margo. How are you?
Well, good morning, Caroline. How did you sleep?
Oh, I slept well. I was really exhausted. Listen, I'm sorry that I wasn't up last night to talk to you before I went to bed.
Oh, no, that's all right. Your father filled me in.
Well, look, I'm not going to be staying here long, but Dad did insist, and I need a place to sort of get my feet back on the ground.
Oh. Was it that traumatic, the breakup?
Well, these things are never easy, I guess.
No. Is there any hope?
For Thorne and me?
Uh-huh.
No, there really isn't.
Well, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
You know, this may sound self-serving, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it anyway. The support of your family and friends is really wonderful, but nothing beats standing on your own 2 feet after something like this.
Well, I'll remember that. Thank you.
Well, it's true. I mean, when I broke up with Clark, if I hadn't been all alone, it would have taken me at twice as long to get over it.
Yes, you did get over him rather quickly, didn't you?
That's what independence will do for you.
Uh-huh. Well, you've made your point.
In that case, would you like some breakfast?
No, thank you. I have an early appointment. And I really should be going.
Well, you leaving without breakfast?
Good morning, Dad.
Good morning.
Yes, I really do have to rush off.
Mm-hmm. I hope you'll be here for dinner.
Dinner? Yes, that would be lovely. Thank you. I'll talk to you at the office then.
Wonderful. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye. And Margo, you have a nice day, too.
Bye-bye.
It's fabulous.
Isn't it?
You know, this dress alone could make the show a success.
I know. The whole fashion show is going to be fabulous. And beyond that, I have got a surprise for Stephanie Forrester that is going to blow her mind.
Well, you must be terribly disappointed.
Yes, with Thorne and Caroline, I am.
I wonder what happened.
This wasn't meant to be.
Well, I'm sure she's going to be fine.
Well, with our support, she will be. Actually, I'm quite relieved that she's living here with us instead of some hotel room. Especially after the time that she was raped in her apartment.
How long do you think she's going to be living here?
Well, she said she would be moving soon. And I certainly hope that she reconsiders. Frankly, I hope that she stays on indefinitely. Well, until her divorce is final. That isn't a problem, is it?
Well, I'm sure it will be for Caroline.
Why?
Well, Bill, she's a very independent woman. She doesn't want to be living here with us.
But she could certainly be persuaded to.
Oh, I wouldn't pressure her if I were you.
Well, you see, I wasn't the one who was going to do the persuading.
Oh, you want me to talk to her?
Actually, I thought it would be a lot better if you did talk to her.
Bill, I already did, and she made it perfectly clear that she doesn't want to be here any longer than she has to.
Oh, well, now, perhaps if you've just kept on after her, she might change her mind. It would mean a great deal to me.
So how was last night?
Oh, I'm so relieved just to have this all over. I probably could have slept on a park bench and I would have been fine. How's Thorne?
I heard him in his room last night. He was up most of the night.
Oh, God. I hate to hear that.
Caroline, you can feel sorrow, pain, compassion, heartache, anything you want. But you can't feel responsible. It wasn't your fault. This marriage was doomed from the start.
Ridge is right, Caroline. Guilt is anger that's never been expressed. You don't express it long enough, you're gonna turn it in on yourself. Don't do that to yourself, Caroline. Are you telling me that there's no reason ever to feel guilty? No, but almost never. Well, what about what Ridge and I did last summer? I mean, this all wouldn't have happened if we hadn't done that.
But that wasn't cause for guilt. It was cause for Thorne to get very angry. And if he had done that when he heard about it, I doubt that any of us would be here right now.
Michelle, he did get angry. He shot me in the head.
You know, Ridge, he got drunk. And that, together with the pill that he'd taken, probably resulted in the gunshot.
Are you saying he wouldn't have shot me if he had been sober?
I doubt it.
Then let's take it a step further. What if we were to tell him what happened in a supportive setting like this? The prank, his reaction to it, everything. If we were to tell him all of that, he probably wouldn't react violently, would he?
Probably not. But I can't guarantee that. Especially now.
What do you mean, especially now?
Something happened in here the other day. Something that has made me realize that Thorne's problem is far more serious than I ever suspected. There you are. I thought Maria should fix you some breakfast.
Not for me.
Oh, I wish you'd eat something.
Mother,
I don't want you pampering me. I'm not a basket case.
Is there anything at all that I can do to help you?
Yes. Don't mention Caroline's name. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever if you can help it. Look, I suggest you tell Dad and Maria and Kristen and whoever else I may be encountering that I'd really appreciate not having too many condolences.
I think that no one beyond the immediate family should know anything about the divorce.
Why hide it?
It's not a question of hiding it. I just think you need time to get back on your feet.
No, Mother. I'm not going to sneak around here pretending that I'm married.
I just don't want you expecting miracles.
Don't worry. I'm not expecting miracles. Even small miracles. Caroline, once out, she's out. There's only one thing that could mess me up right now. I've been guaranteed that that's not going to happen.
What is it?
Just something I talked to Ridge about. I'd rather not get into it beyond that. Is that coffee still hot?
Probably. Would you like a cup?
Sure.
Michelle, what happened to make you think Thorne's problem is more serious?
Caroline, did you tell Ridge about the headache Thorne got at our last session?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Thorne started getting a headache just as our conversation moved in the direction, by implication, of the possibility of you two being involved. Now, as I pursued that possibility, his head pain became more severe.
So what does that mean?
I think it's pretty clearly a conversion reaction.
Michelle, would you explain that to us again?
In Thorne's case, it's his way of blocking out a painful memory. He converts any attempt to recall the memory into a painful headache, and the pain from the headache forces him to refocus his attention.
Michelle, what are we supposed to make of all this?
Ridge, your brother isn't yet ready to accept the reality of what happened between you and Caroline. Now, he's willing to put himself through an inordinate amount of pain to keep from looking at it.
And if he's forced to look at it? Tell me, Doctor. What would happen then? Because, damn it, I think he has to look at it.
Time to start my speech, Stephanie. Retribution. Finally. Retribution.
Well, I say we bring my brother in here and sit him down and level with him.
Well, you'll have to do that with another therapist.
Another therapist? Why, Michelle?
In my opinion, your brother isn't ready for that.
Well, when will he be ready?
I don't know.
Oh, come on. A week? Next month? Maybe never?
I will say this, and it's a very good sign. At least his problem isn't pervasive.
What do you mean?
Well, in most ways, he's perfectly normal. He doesn't exhibit any symptoms, any problems. It's only when someone directs his attention to the two of you and the possibility of an involvement that he even has a problem.
I talked to Thorne about Caroline and me last night.
And what was said specifically?
He asked if we had plans to marry After the divorce, I told him no. That's when his headache stopped.
Well, that makes sense, Ridge, because your answer to him was direct, positive, and unambiguous. But believe me, if you had told him you didn't know what your plans were, his headache would have continued, and the more you talked, the worse it would have gotten.
Yes, she's right.
So what are you telling us now, then? To just do nothing?
There's reason to be positive here. If we can give Thorne the chance to get over losing Caroline without having to deal with the memory he's blocking out, he's going to be one step closer to stability. But, on the other hand, and I am warning both of you, if he is confronted with the events of last summer, especially now, while he's trying to deal with this tremendous loss, I can't emphasize this enough. His reaction could be tragic. And that could mean anything. Absolutely anything.
You have a surprise for Stephanie Forrester?
I certainly do. Do you remember that pathetic little waif you showed into my office the other day, the one with the veil?
Oh, yeah. Miss Dixon. What a strange one.
Yeah, she was special, wasn't she?
Well, how's she gonna help you surprise Stephanie Forrester?
Why don't you watch and listen, Einstein? Hmm?
Hello?
Hello, Stephanie. This is Sally Spectra.
Good morning, Miss Spectra.
I hope I didn't call too early and interrupt you and your family at breakfast or anything.
No. How may I help you?
Well, actually, there was something I wanted to share with you.
Share?
Yes. Yes. I came across the most incredible case at the medical center when I was doing my volunteer work there. A young girl, she'd been burned. Her face and body were terribly disfigured. She told me she'd been a patient there and that she felt that she owed her life to the place.
Well, that's wonderful. See? Now maybe this will really inspire you to do some of the volunteer work.
Of course it will. And what else it inspired me to do was to ask this young lady to be a part of our benefit. I thought she might give a little talk.
A talk? Well, no one's ever done anything like that before.
But don't you see, Stephanie, this is the reason we are doing the benefit. This girl is a living symbol of the work they do there. I think it could be a truly moving moment to have this young girl there in the midst of the lights and the cameras and the fashions and the elegant audience. And she'll stand there and tell her story and pour her heart out.
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't want it to turn into some sort of spectacle.
Oh, well, it wouldn't be. Of course not. It would all be done in a really tasteful manner, trust me. Well, anyway, I really particularly wanted to share this with you, Stephanie, and get your approval because the girl did mention that you and your family were the largest contributors to the hospital during her stay there.
Well, as long as it wouldn't turn into a spectacle.
Absolutely not. And thank you, Stephanie. Thank you very, very much.
Oh, that was so sweet.
Isn't it? Isn't it? Oh, I can just see the look on Stephanie Forrester's face when that young girl starts to tell her story. All about how wonderful she feels the Forresters are.
Oh, that's what she's gonna say?
Mm-hmm. She told me so herself. She's really grateful to the Forresters, to Stephanie in particular.
Well, what a nice thing for Mrs. Forrester.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? And of course, it could be an even nicer thing for the person who set it all up, namely me. Oh, Darla, if anything is going to melt the Ice Queen's heart towards me, it might just be Miss Stephanie Dixon and her story. I'll bet she's working on her speech right now. Write it well, Miss Dixon. And remember, you're going to be telling that story to some of the most prominent people in the U.S. of A.
And my name is not Stephanie Dixon. It's Angela.
Angela Forrester. I'm here to tell the world who shot Ridge Forrester. It was his brother. His brother, Thorne.